This is while 307 West G Street is being documented, flying right over my apartment. 307 West G Street is in relevant position while the fake sun remains over me. They live in relevant position, group stalking with the Ontario PD, who's stalking under a fake sun that's right here over the same location it was this morning when they're stalking under a fake sun that's nowhere near San Diego, California. 2:49 p.m. It's directly over the top of my head at the parking garage at Fairfield by Marriott, where impossible light activity is inside of that parking garage. And the people of the state, the same entity, is group stalking by driving inside of a parking garage where the fake sun's directly over the top of my head in this manner at 2:49 p.m. in San Diego, California. And the entity's group stalking with the people that live at 307 West G Street in relevant position on G Street in relevant position from my physical location where the fake sun is still at the same address where it was at 9:28, and that same terrorist organization is stalking in a helicopter because of the surveillance that they're engaged in online. The entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct as I am documenting it, and they are incriminating the people of the state at 307 West G Street as I'm capturing screenshots, which is also evidence on the video of the internet regarding what it is that the entity is terrorizing me for, while you are incriminating the people of the state. This is the same impossible light activity that you saw during the 7 a.m. early in the morning. It has nothing to do with the fake sun that's directly above the apartment building, having nothing to do with light that is necessarily appearing, having nothing to do with sunlight. In other words, this is place light. This is the demonic, and the demonic audio activity includes that which is occurring by the people of the state living in apartment 55. They are engaged in what is hours of ceaseless demonic activity. This is a demon, a psychopath that's pacing, but nonetheless that pacing is coexisting with amplified audible activity. AVANATH communities, the people of the state that are profiting, while demons are paying them rent in group stalking with the state, who just flew over this apartment complex where the fake sun is still at the same strip of land at the same apartment. Number 51 is where I'm inside. 9:28 to 2:37 p.m. 9 minutes from now at 2:49 p.m. the light source is directly over San Diego, California's Fairfield by Marriott, over the parking garage, replete with what is impossible light activity. This is the pattern, impossible light activity. The fake sun is over this apartment. This is Ontario, California, the hallmark of stalking in helicopters. That's the P.O.C. With regard to the pattern of conduct, what I'm doing online, that's notable regarding the incrimination of the people of the state who will be prosecuted for state terrorism. The documented terrorists at the people of the state living at 307 West G Street in Ontario. That's exactly the people of the state's address that's being captured on screenshot while they are on a Google map. What is criminal surveillance while you live in relevant position, just like this demon above in an apartment complex where impossible light activity remains for the duration of the day. You're looking at the impossible light activity. The entity is maintaining the fake sun. That's engineered light. That's coming at an upward position. Has nothing to do with the fake sun, by the way. That's still over the same apartment complex. While you're looking at targeting also by the placement of the helicopter. The entity is doing so while the train is a means of amplified audible activity, while the Ontario police and the Ontario International Airport are maintaining aerial surveillance while federal stalking violation of Title 18. And that's incriminating the terrorists who will be prosecuted. The people of the state at 307 West G Street in Ontario, California. They are group stalking with all of the entity, and I'm documenting 7-Eleven. That's at 706 West G Street, 736 Vine Avenue, I believe. I'm documenting all of this entity, which is just the immediate zone of relevant positioning. The entire state's being prosecuted. But while I'm capturing criminal summoning, that the same demons stalking in police vehicles are doing sounding sirens while they're engaged in federal stalking, because I'm capturing pictures and screenshots of what's happening in San Diego over my head while I'm at not only Alvarado Gardens, but here at Woodside Senior Apartments in Ontario. As I capture and provide that analysis for you to look at, the demons sound sirens, the demons sound helicopter activity flying directly over me under the fake sun that's at the same exact apartment complex, the same strip of land right here in front of me, the same front door is what I'm standing at while that light source. Okay, so I want to be clear. This is what Tracy Banks was participating in. This is her apartment. She's the people of the state group stalking, and she's engaged in kidnapping with that same terrorist organization that's stalking in helicopter. P.O.C. Repeating the pattern of conduct is impunity. While the entity's group stalking, flying directly over, it's P.O.C. That's the fake sun. This is called relevant positioning, 57222R3. And they were doing the same thing, 5:55 p.m. where this fake sun is still at the same environment, the same apartment, and this is the light source directly over my head. This is the same position it's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Pay attention to the images. The entity is maintaining relevant position. License 57222R3 is maintaining relevant position with regard to the people of the state. All they do is the same different face, same conduct. Vine Avenue is relevant positioning, and it's the heavily documented Amazon Prime. and he's going to federal prison. License 57222R3. This is what Amazon Prime is doing at Alvarado Gardens with the LAPD under the fake sun that's over that apartment complex prison. Amazon Prime's fully engaged in state surveillance with the state that's engaging in flying circles, doing hula hoops doing donuts over this apartment. And you know that Amazon is targeting because the fake sun is where you're delivering a package to the demons who are group stalking with it. All right, flying right over my apartment again. This is where the fake sun remains at 5:55. It's still in alignment with this same apartment non-movement. And this is not over Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, but this is where the terrorist organizations stalking in helicopters, calling themselves police departments, are engaged in terrorism and psychological torture. This is going on the front page. This is what is the federal prison-worthy criminal activity where the people of the state are pacing. Those are children that are crossing path, engaged in the pattern of conduct, living in a demonic environment where all you're doing is maintaining presence and activity creation, and the demon in apartment number 55 is going to federal prison as well. All right, this is again the people of the state living in apartment 307 West G Street. They are being documented as terrorists living in relevant position where the statewide pattern of conduct remains underway, and it is clearly identified by the maintenance of a light source. It was here at 9:28 in the morning. OPD's flying over my apartment that I'm inside of, well, Tracy Banks' apartment. She's the people of the state engaged in the criminal pattern of conduct and under no circumstances protected by the Constitution, nor can that terrorist organization provide any evidence to help her. They are incriminating her and the rest of the state. This is the hallmark, stalking in helicopters in the remarkable environment, the maintenance, the stationary presence. This light source is at 2:42 p.m., not over Fairfield by Marriott in San Diego, California. It's nowhere near the Holiday Inn in Hesperia, California. It is nowhere near the Best Western to be over the top of my head at 4 p.m., contrary to what I documented in Orange County, in San Diego County, in LA County. I'm in San Bernardino County, and the entity's maintaining a light source over this very particular strip of land. As I'm stepping out, this is the same front door where that light source is, and this is also where the entity is stalking in helicopters with knowledge in real time regarding what I am doing on the internet, which is the P.O.C. and AVANATH. Not only are the residents engaged in state surveillance, but the employee lives in one, fully engaged in the P.O.C. 24 hours a day, which is a sex offense that's committed by, again, a corrupt company, which is what AVANATH Communities represents. Impossible light activity remains on the inside. It has nothing to do with the light source. The light source and the impossible light activity are distinct methods of understanding the direct evidence that state surveillance is underway, in addition to the conduct of police agencies who are actually terrorist organizations, group stalking, highly unintelligent and terroristic criminal conduct that Mike Lorenz is fully engaged in and is facilitating. He has lost his career forever in law enforcement, and that entire agency is to be disbanded. And the entity will produce the name of the demon that's engaged in terrorism, flying over my head inside of my apartment, doing donuts and group stalking with the demon that's operating the Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is a heavily documented terrorist, group stalking with the Orange County Sheriff's Department, group stalking with the San Diego Police Department, group stalking with the Los Angeles Police Department in helicopters, okay? This is what they're doing with the Ontario Police Department, and how you know that it's a specific targeted act is that Amazon Prime is delivering packages under the fake sun, engaging in the elements of monitoring. The maintenance of the specific environment is speaking to what supersedes what a corrupt company wants to appear as engaging in, as though it's some sort of business that's distinct, and it's not. They are fully engaged in the malicious pattern of conduct, profiting while doing so, and Amazon Prime is also going to be prosecuted. That driver is going to federal prison, and Amazon will compensate an American citizen whom it is keeping under surveillance with the corrupt law enforcement agencies that include Ontario PD, amongst others. Okay, this is exactly what LAPD was doing under a fake sun. And you're going to look at those two videos, the plethora of the body of evidence, what OPD just did under a fake sun and what LAPD was doing under the fake sun, replete with actors such as Amazon Prime. It is currently, again, 2:44 p.m. There's no sun over the parking garage in San Diego, which would, again, under no circumstances create this light activity. And that's how you know that this is a demon that's group stalking, and that's a demon stalking in a helicopter, and that was a demon delivering a package to a demon that lives at the crime scene. That's the P.O.C. in totality. Federal stalking is the inspiration behind that demon flying over, and it is incriminating the people of the state living at 307 West G Street. They will be prosecuted as the terrorists that they are, in concert with the rest of the demons living in relevant position all around this intersection, which is nothing other than the immediate surroundings along Vine and Vine Street and Vine Avenue and G Street, which is what I'm capturing right now. And the entity that is engaging in that engages in very foolish criminal conduct, which incriminates everybody that you will see uploaded in screenshots showing their addresses. They will all be prosecuted for domestic terrorism because they're acting with the state and threatening and targeting and trying to intimidate, retaliate against the entity that's documenting you, is serving to intensify your federal prosecution. prosecution. They're not protecting the people. They just engage in more conduct incriminating Mike Lorenz, who was no longer to be chief of police. He's fired. You're looking at the ongoing resume regarding why he will never have anything to do with law enforcement in California or in any other state in this country. This closeted sex offending demon-possessed group stalker who was a corrupt actor over a corrupt police department engaging in terrorism in the state and is hostile to that exposure, having their demon-possessed police officers flying over me and terrorizing me while they're documented kidnappers, and doing so in concert with the demons that are group stalking at this apartment complex, including corrupt businesses such as Amazon Prime and AVANATH communities, because that's what they represent. And that's speaking to what is a comprehensive civil and criminal prosecution of the same entity, the state of California. It's currently 2:46 p.m. where there's no sun that's going to be over San Diego, over the parking garage. Recall the documentation. This is P.O.C.